The Soviet psychic spy machine. During the Cold War, Soviet scientists reportedly developed a device capable of amplifying psychic abilities for espionage. Known only through fragmented intelligence reports, the machine combined electromagnetic field generators with sensory deprivation chambers to enhance extrasensory perception. Test subjects were said to accurately locate hidden objects, read thoughts at short distances, and even influence decisions remotely. Prototypes were destroyed after several volunteers suffered severe neurological symptoms, including prolonged hallucinations, dissociation, and memory loss. Western intelligence agencies monitored the program closely, confiscating any research that surfaced. Surviving notes hint the technology may have interacted with what the Soviets called the human informational field, suggesting early experimentation in non-local consciousness. The Montauk Project time experiments. In a secretive Long Island facility during the 1970s, U.S. government contractors allegedly conducted experiments in time manipulation and teleportation. Using massive particle accelerators, electromagnetic field generators, and Tesla-inspired technology, the experiments reportedly opened temporary portals through which objects and personnel could vanish or reappear. Some participants claimed to witness future events or interact with beings from alternate realities. Incidents included severe physical and psychological trauma, mysterious disappearances, and sudden structural anomalies within the lab. The facility was officially closed, sealed, and all documentation classified. Leaked testimonies suggest the experiments were not merely theoretical. Equipment logs, partially destroyed, indicate that temporal displacement may have occurred, though outcomes were unstable and hazardous. The Russian ghost tanks. In the late 1980s, Russian military engineers allegedly attempted to render armored vehicles invisible to radar and sight using electromagnetic cloaking. The prototype vehicles reportedly produced refractive distortions, bending light and radio waves around the hull. Initial trials claimed success at short distances, though field testing was plagued by equipment malfunctions, crew disorientation, and intermittent visibility. Subsequent government documents describe the project as terminated due to uncontrollable side effects, including spatial anomalies and sudden electronic failures in surrounding equipment. The designs were reportedly archived in secret military vaults, and most surviving engineers were reassigned or disappeared. Analysts who examined the few remaining schematics noted concepts resembling later theoretical work in metamaterials and electromagnetic field manipulation, hinting the project may have been decades ahead of publicly acknowledged technology. The Lazarus Field Generator, allegedly developed in the 1960s at a secret European medical facility, this device aimed to stimulate lifelike energy into deceased tissue. Using high-voltage electromagnetic pulses and oscillating biofields, early tests caused partial muscle contractions and faint neural spikes hours after death. Internal documents describe uncontrolled responses, including twitches synchronized with environmental electromagnetic fluctuations, spontaneous joint movements, and faint auric glows around the body. Emotional or stress markers from prior life sometimes appeared in the energy field. Technicians reported whispers, low-frequency hums, and occasional temperature anomalies around cadavers. Surviving plates are rumored to exist only in private collections, fueling speculation about life extension, consciousness transfer, or temporary resurrection. Experimental logs suggested different cadavers reacted uniquely, implying residual bioenergy linked to past emotional states. The chrono-phase projector. Created in the 1970s by a clandestine Japanese research group, this machine attempted to phase objects slightly out of sync with normal time. Small test items occasionally vanished and reappeared, while photographs captured overlapping temporal shadows and faint afterimages of objects in multiple positions. Volunteers reported memory lapses,
visual echoes of themselves, and spatial disorientation. Engineers warned prolonged exposure could destabilize local temporal fields, causing accelerated aging, duplication, or phantom sensations of future events. Funding was abruptly terminated and prototypes dismantled. Alleged leaks describe minor time bleed events, objects defying gravity, clocks recording impossible sequences, whispers out of order, and personnel sensing echoes of conversations from the future. Some researchers reported lingering déjà vu after leaving, as if fragments of alternative timelines had imprinted into memory. The Tunguska energy emitter, a speculative Soviet-era device theorized to be behind the 1908 Tunguska explosion. Reports suggest a mobile energy cannon projecting atmospheric discharges at immense power, flattening forests without leaving a crater. Redacted Russian archives mention early tests producing unusual ionization patterns, magnetic disruptions, and faint blue auroras. Eyewitnesses described pulsating columns of light, sudden gusts, and unexplainable pressure waves before the devastation, while wildlife vanished or behaved erratically. Scientists theorized the device experimented with atmospheric resonance and focused ionized energy beams. Anecdotal accounts suggest test crews experienced nausea, vertigo, and faint auditory phenomena correlating with discharges, hinting at early experiments in human-directed environmental manipulation. The Black Knight Resonator, a secret satellite allegedly launched in the 1950s to study non-terrestrial signals. It reportedly emitted low-frequency transmissions affecting electrical grids, human perception, and animal behavior. Researchers observed electromagnetic anomalies, sudden atmospheric spikes, and communications interference. Documents describing its purpose were removed from U.S. and Soviet archives. Engineers noted psychophysiological effects on personnel, including dizziness, vivid dreams, heightened perception, and mood fluctuations. Logs described unusual readings resembling encoded patterns, suggesting intelligence or directional targeting. Temporary magnetic distortions in urban centers and brief instrument shifts implied the satellite could subtly manipulate local electromagnetic environments. All such documents were later confiscated, leaving the Black Knight Resonator a shadowy early experiment in global electromagnetic influence.
Chronovisor. Allegedly created by Vatican scientists in the 1950s, the chronovisor was said to be a machine capable of viewing past events. Constructed with a complex array of electromagnetic sensors, cathode ray tubes, and layered crystal matrices, it reportedly could reconstruct scenes from any point in history by detecting residual energy patterns left in matter and space-time. Accounts suggest the device allowed viewers to witness events such as the crucifixion of Jesus. Documents claim the chronovisor was dismantled shortly after its revelation, with all records suppressed, and only second-hand sketches and fragmented notes remain. Skeptics argue it was a hoax, but first-hand testimonies from retired clergy and engineers describe vivid demonstrations and warnings about the technology's potential to disrupt the perception of reality itself, suggesting the machine may have been too dangerous for public use. The Philadelphia Experiment. In 1943, a U.S. Navy destroyer escort, the USS Eldridge, was reportedly subjected to a top-secret experiment in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The goal was to render the ship invisible to radar and possibly teleport it. Using a combination of electromagnetic generators, Tesla coil arrays, and high-voltage fields, witnesses claimed the ship vanished from sight, reappearing hundreds of miles away. Crew members reportedly suffered severe disorientation, with some fused into the ship's metal or experiencing intense psychological trauma. Government investigations were allegedly conducted but swiftly classified. All original documentation was destroyed or withheld, leaving only testimonies from surviving sailors and declassified Navy logs that hint at unusual field experiments,
but provide no explanation of the extreme physical phenomena described in the original accounts, fueling decades of conspiracy theories and fringe science speculation. The anti-gravity engine. In the 1950s, a small research group in Nazi Germany reportedly developed a propulsion system capable of defying gravity. The device utilized a spinning, magnetically charged disc enclosed in a vacuum chamber. Test reports claimed the engine could lift several tons without traditional fuel, producing a silent and smooth ascent. Allied forces seized the blueprints and prototypes at the end of the war, but official records were classified and scientists involved vanished. The few surviving notes suggest the engine relied on manipulating the Higgs field locally, an idea decades ahead of its time. Attempts to replicate the effect in later decades produced only partial, unstable results, and many experimental labs investigating anti-gravity phenomena reported mysterious fires, disappearances, or sudden confiscations of equipment, hinting at deliberate suppression of the technology. The Nikola Tesla death ray. Tesla's papers from 1934 describe a device capable of concentrating immense electrical energy into a narrow beam, intended as a defensive weapon capable of destroying aircraft or incoming projectiles. The machine used a combination of tuned oscillators, vacuum tubes, and a large focusing structure to generate what Tesla described as teleforce. After demonstrating partial tests to military officials, the project was abruptly halted, and his equipment mysteriously disappeared. Government agencies allegedly seized the blueprints, citing national security. Tesla warned that if misused, the weapon could destabilize entire regions. But modern historians question whether any functional model ever existed. Enthusiasts and secret labs in the mid-20th century attempted reconstructions, yet results remained inconclusive, with many experiments ending in electrical explosions, unexplained equipment failures, or sudden lab closures under mysterious circumstances.
The HARP Mind Control Antenna. Developed in Alaska in 1993, HARP was officially created to study the ionosphere, but rumors claimed it could influence human thoughts and emotions. The facility used massive radio transmitter arrays to send pulsed electromagnetic signals into the upper atmosphere, forming concentrated energy patterns. Conspiracy theories suggest these signals could trigger anxiety, depression, or altered perception over large areas. Alleged leaked documents link specific HARP frequencies to unusual brainwave activity, causing headaches, vivid dreams, and disorientation in volunteers. Whistleblowers claimed intelligence agencies monitored HARP to explore emotional manipulation and subtle behavioral influence. Skeptics reject these claims, but reports of strange atmospheric effects and abnormal animal behavior fuel speculation. Check out my other videos for 12 more forbidden inventions.